This video is going to be all about common mistakes in Fortnite. The plan is to walk you guys through as many arena fights as possible, so by the time you get to the end of this video, you're going to know exactly the most common mistakes in realistic games. If you want to support these type of videos, don't forget to use supporter creator code KenBeans in the item shop because it helps me out a lot. Without further ado, let's get started. Really quickly, I wanted to mention that common mistakes in Fortnite is something that happens to everyone, whether you're a pro or you're an average player or you're a complete noob. No matter how you feel about your skill level in the game, there's going to be mistakes happening to every single one of us because no one can be 100% and win every single game they play. There's gonna be a time where they run into people and there's gonna be mistakes. What I need you to remember is that when you go to play your own games and you fight your own people, just remember that there's gonna be mistakes that happen along the way. The goal of this video is to show you guys real games and real fights, but just remember that there's tons of examples and lots of mistakes that people can make on Fortnite. So this video probably isn't gonna include every single thing in the book, but I can definitely assure you that there's gonna be lots of tips and tricks along the way. The thing with this box is that me and this guy are both really weak. Me knowing that, there's a really common mistake, and I'm not even being biased, I think most people fall into this. Whenever you're confirming an edit, you have to make sure that by the time, especially when you're really weak, you have to make sure that you're confirming the edit when you're completely behind cover. I could have waited a split second more right here, but what I did was confirm this edit, but I waited a second before confirming it so I can run to cover, and that caused the guy to shoot. He missed the shot, and then I was able to finish up the kill. There's lots of small techniques that go around in every single box fight just like this, and most of it just comes down to timing. If you can wrap this idea around your head that whenever you get into any box fight and you make any sort of edit, whether it's a window edit or a top right hand corner edit, you need to make sure that you give it enough time so by the time you confirm the edit, you'll be behind cover and you'll take no damage. A common mistake that a lot of people make is not closing up their edits. But what I did was I understood that I knew that I was more than probably 2 boxes away from this guy, so I left the edit open as I went to pop these shields. It ended up working out in my favor because I used these top right hand corner edits, but what I wanted to talk about was as I pressured this guy. Something that's really common is that a lot of people get someone weak, but they don't understand how to keep the pressure up. Notice how when the submachine gun was about to run out of ammo, I knew that it was going to break the wall in time, so I claimed the wall the second it was going to break. Now, because I have a low ping, it helped a lot more, but just keep in mind, whenever you're spraying something and the wall is weak, try and grab it. This caused the guy to leave the box, and it led me into this. One thing that people tend to forget is that when someone leaves a box, the last wall they're going to place is the one they ran out of. When I broke through this wall, notice how I didn't even bother placing the wall in front of me, and I just went for a cone and a wall to the right. That's because by the time that guy goes into that box, he's not going to have enough wall to place the wall behind him, which is the wall that I was coming in from. You're going to see better, more clear-cut examples in just 1 second. This guy was playing a little weird, but I crack him, and notice how I'm trying to track him where he's going. A common mistake is that depending on the angle you're at, people will try and go for the wall before they try to go for the cones. If you're ever in a situation like this, do what I do and try and place cones before you get the wall. Not only that, but it will be easier to place the cone because they can extend in almost any direction, even further than a wall would. This was definitely some solid piece control, but it all stemmed from the cones. Literally 2 seconds later, I was getting pushed again, so I made the window edit behind cover, but not only that, I was able to get the walls off too, but you could see that this guy didn't have an angle to shoot me and he was caught with his map out. I ended up playing this really far away. I got a shot on him. I fell a little bit, but he died to fire. A really common mistake is not realizing the elevation that you're on whenever you're fighting someone. Something that I do so often is just slide cones inside someone's box whenever they're above elevation with nothing below them. Even worse, what I don't see people do is that they run into the box, but they don't use the cone as cover. As you can see, I ran in at an angle and then moved strongly, like really fast to the left, and then tried to shoot and strafe again and then get shots on this guy. My aim is trash because I just came back from vacation, but you just gotta understand, like, I used the movement to help me get the shot so that way I could avoid taking damage and get this kill really quickly. Now, this is a little risky, but I made this double edit and instantly turned around to place these high walls behind me. This was because I knew that he was right above me when I was doing this double edit. I love to do this move because I instantly turn around, window edit, and place a cone. I thought he was gonna run out to his side, but he ended up just like choking and placing a wall in front of him, so I dropped down on the other wall that he seemed to be in, which was this box right here. Really confused how he ended up staying in that box, but it happened and I finished up the kill. Okay, so I'm build fighting this guy, whatever. I ended up shooting him. What I did here was side jump, but I placed the cone before I landed. This was because by the time I get a little over halfway above that wall, I'll be able to look higher than you think and get a cone above that wall. Because I knew he was cranking and I saw him through that cone, I always, you have to place the double edit behind them. For some odd reason in this game, whenever you cone someone, you always have to piece the back of them. That's exactly what I did here. He literally walked into my box and I just got the win. The most common mistake whenever someone takes your wall is to act like you're losing your mind and you're shook at how they got in there. Who cares about how they took your wall wall or if they had less ping, just play with what you have going on currently so that you don't die. The second this guy took my wall, I was shook, don't get me wrong, but I instantly reacted and it was like second nature. I strafed to the bottom right hand side. This is common mistake 101. You need to play this more carefully than this guy and not smack at walls that you can't see through. At least don't double or triple smack them. I know that a lot of people get in this situation and they end up just smacking walls and just doing whatever. You see how I'm playing it safe? I'm shooting it with my AR from a distance, that way I'll get him to edit open. I'm just playing far away at first. Then when I get closer, what I do is use this edit as a right hand peek, so whenever he'll make an edit, let's just say he did, I'll reset that wall really quickly since it will be right next to me. I shoot him back up, reset the wall, and then just full send right in his box. You play patient at first, that way you can counter people in Fortnite and it turns the aggression around really quickly and you can finish up kills just like this. Common mistake 101 is to not run up against someone's wall after you initially got pre-fired. The same thing is going to be happening over and over and over, just like I did to this guy and I got the kill. What I like to do is whenever I shoot someone, I hold the wall for just 1 second. I decide on whether or not I want to go for piece control because sometimes it's not the right play. The second this guy reacted to me placing my wall, what I decided to do was full box him. I set up different opportunities on the spot. Like as I'm playing, I'm thinking about different scenarios that are just running through my mind at the time. With the experience I have in the game, I'm able to think like this, and that's how I box this guy, make a window edit, and I just finish up the kill from here. When it comes to common mistakes, the way you get over them is just by having a lot of experience, and this video will help you with that. I was taken off guard, so I shot this guy and then shoved a stare in his face because that's about the only move I can make unless I just straight up leave. Once I made an edit, I flipped the stare, jump shot, got the kill, but that's not the important part. Never try and go for the loot. Being greedy will get you killed, which is the reason why I instantly dipped from this box the second he came in. You know, a lot of people say that you should never double smack walls in arena. I plan to make a video about this really soon because sometimes it's really optimal. If you can time it just right, when I swung the first pickaxe, even by the time this guy made the edit, he was delayed on doing it. So by swinging in the right spot, I was able to take the wall when he was trying to shoot me with his shotgun, and that's how I got this edit and I killed him fast. Let me know if you guys think the same way I do, because the meta nowadays is just to agree that you should never double smack walls. Common mistake 101 is to run up to any fully built metal or brick box and not trying to make multiple walls weak before you go to pressure the person. This is one of the best ways I keep pressure up on people and kind of make them nervous because they don't exactly know which wall I could take. Notice the direction of the guy's stare by the time I got the cone above it. He was going to my right. So the back of his box is the left side. I mean, I kind of choked a little bit, but that's the reason why I boxed the left side, because that's the back side for him. Imagine if this guy edited down, flipped the stair, or did some sort of side jump instead. Whenever you get stairs above someone's head just like this, you can set up a really optimal peek as the guy's trying to run away, which is exactly what I did right here. This is a move that I actually practice a lot. I flip the stair, I make a tile edit, and I shoot him as they're running away right in the back. You see how I'm pressuring this guy? Even though he has the wall on me, he's in a box with no wall in front of him. He just has a wall blocking me. Even though he tried to make any sort of edit on me, I just stick a wall right in his box. I kind of stiff arm him into his box. I edit open, place a cone. Common mistake would just be to edit the cone right open. Sometimes you need to play careful and let the guy spray through so you can pre-fire him and then reset or place your own wall again. My aim is still looking really rusty first day back from vacation, I'm not gonna lie. I'm fighting a guy who's a sweat and he's kind of using a lot of my mats. You see how I placed the stair to bait him into making some sort of edit so he can kind of just chill out for a second? I test the waters to see if we'll make an edit or just do a stupid play. When you got someone cornered, they're always gonna try and run at you. This is the reason why I was able to get this pre-fire, place a wall, and get the cone on this guy. I've been in situations just like this where every time you get someone cornered, they run at you, you shoot them, you pre-fire, you win. You only are gonna lose if you stay in their box, like really close, hugged up against that wall, and they charge at you, and then you 50-50. Now this guy just busts into my house like the FBI, right? Remember I told you to react what happens even though you have like kind of no control? I am in a 50-50 situation, so what I do is get really close to the guy and run hard to his left. In situations like this, going right or left doesn't matter. You just have to get really close to them, so whatever angle or whatever direction that would be is the direction you want to go. It's to not let your mind race too much, to stay calm as much as possible by being in a lot of experiences just like this. The more it happens, the better you'll get at it. Here's my most common mistake, and you see it most on stream. I window edit, I get hit hard, I also hit him hard. He's clearly weak, but in the back of my mind, I want to pressure him. I said, screw that. I went to go heal up and just got all that greediness out of my mind, went to go heal up because I knew that was the smarter play. I don't always do this, but I'm slowly starting to do it more and more and more and more. I land on this guy's stair knowing that this can go bad or wrong really fast, so I always just place that wall for a quick escape route. Here's a common mistake. Remember this cornered idea that I just mentioned earlier. I got this guy in a box. He can only go one direction. If I pause the video right here, just think for 1 second, what do you think this guy is gonna do? I mentioned it earlier in the video. I'll give you one quick second, talk about it, waste some time just like this. They charge at you every single time. That's the reason why I wasn't hugged up against this wall wall and I pre-fired him to place my own wall in a new box. This is stuff that I'm not even kidding you is the reason you're gonna win fights. You have the guy completely cornered again, right? So by the time I make any sort of edit on this wall, what do you think he's gonna do? I'm gonna pause the video real quick again. What do you think he's gonna do in this scenario? That's the reason why I ran up to this wall, pickaxed it, and instantly reset because I knew that he was gonna do something stupid. What I did was confirm the edit as I was strafing to one side so it would make it really hard for him to hit me, and that's how I took no damage in this fight and had the complete advantage the whole time without even that guy thinking it for 1 second. Whenever you're being pressured, run backwards and not to the right and left you want to run behind them so they have to break through builds to get to you. This is the reason why I pieced this guy, because he was nervous. He smacked his head right in that wall. I got the kill. Here's a really optimal edit from up above. If I pause the video right here, how much of my head realistically do you think this guy sees? The smallest little thing is what he's gonna see, I'll tell you that. That's how I shot him. Even though it was 33 damage, that's how I shot him without taking any damage back. I don't know if this is a coincidence or whatever, but I seriously think it's just calculated. A lot of people always miss at least one shotgun shot whenever they're box fighting me. I don't know if these guys are bots or what. It's always the small movements in box fights that will get people to miss shots. Now, it wasn't the biggest movement. You could see how when I shot this guy, I instantly ran to the right. Even the smallest centimeter to the right will cause this guy to miss the shot. It's not expanding into more than one box whenever the guy is pressuring your wall like this. And that guy would be me. You see how this guy ran into a box, but I claimed the wall that he was last to claim. When someone runs away, the last wall that they're gonna place is the wall that they came in from. That's the reason why I placed the wall and I was able to run into this guy's box and hit him really hard. Kept my momentum going the whole time. I didn't just grab the wall, make an edit, stand still, and go for a shot. I continued the momentum and then went for a flick shot. That's how you cause people to miss shots. The reason why this sticks into my brain is because I learned it from a professional COD player from back in the day. Swerving in fights, even from games like 7 years ago, is going to be the reason why you win. Here's a common mistake that I always think for some reason I should just run at someone's face. A more optimal edit would to do a top row wall edit where you edit the 3 tiles on the top of the wall and then use that as a right hand peak. You can duck underneath it. Instead of just full 50-50ing in this guy's box, that would have been the safer way to go about it. The biggest common mistake that will lead me to die most of the time is what happens is I get this guy weak, right? And I run up to his box, but I don't have my shotgun out. Running up to a wall that's not weak and you know there's a guy inside and you're running up to the wall with your pickaxe out, that's a really big common mistake that I do all the time. I don't want to make this video too long. If you made it this far in the video, please drop a like. It would be much appreciated. Shout out to everyone on the screen right now using code KenBeans in the item shop. And don't forget to check out KenBeans.store for the merch. It's been your man KenBeans. Look forward to more content coming soon. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.